everyone, welcome to the Learning Pro Live. We've got another LX Collective, so let's introduce our team. We have got the mighty Emma Pawson, Amanda Nguyen, Lin Wong, and the one and only Troy Ashman.
Round of applause.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good.
So officially we're making this a one every month deal. Yeah, we're catching up once a month because it was just way too often trying to do this every couple of weeks. And we're all busy bees with stuff. So we're talking about what today? Portfolios.
We certainly are.
I'm going to move our Troy into the middle. There you go. I just feel like he's proportioned a bit better right there in the middle. It all evolves around Troy. So how have you guys been over the last month? We're busy. Everyone's busy. It's coming out of lockdown now. We're hoping it's coming out of lockdown in Victoria.
Wow, it's been a long time coming. Far out.
But it's good, you know. Like if you think about our numbers are now one a month, and America's 60,000 new cases.
Wow.
One new case a day, and America's 60,000 cases a day. We've done a good job pulling things back. So hopefully we'll get a number of people tuning in today. I've got a really sore throat, so I'm going to stop talking in a minute. But we have just been, oh my God, just yap all the time. If you guys are tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. We are talking today about portfolios, how to create your own portfolios, different portfolios we've seen, just a bit of everything really, portfolios. Who wants to kick off? How are we going to get started with this?
I nominate Amanda because she brought up the top.
I was going to nominate Troy. No, my All right, ready? Virtual scissors, paper, rock. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll do it first. Portfolio. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, for me personally, when I first started off creating my own portfolio, which was around, I don't know, in 2016 or something, I thought it would be cool to sit there and hand code my Bootstrap website. I don't have it anymore, so I can't show you guys, but I'll tell you about it. But it was so frustrating. I was so frustrated because I thought it would be cool to sit there and learn how to code and learn how to, use Bootstrap as a framework and create everything, parallax scrolling, which was in back then in 2016. But it was such an annoying process. Every time I wanted to add in a new logo that I designed, or when I was doing graphic design as freelancing on the side, it took me around a week and a half to 2 weeks just to update and hand code just like an image and move that to the side. So it was quite annoying. So then I left it. I didn't touch it. And recently when, I started to develop more e-learning projects and, learning solutions, I wanted to showcase that. And I think for me, it's about scaling and being efficient with my time. So then I, took a nice route and decided to use Wix. That was my preferred method. So my portfolio now, my live website for my business and for myself, I use Wix because it's easy.
You want to share it?
I will share it. I don't have to think about it. I can make quick updates. Sharing screen. Sharing.
I'm liking your new camera, by the way, and your
thank you.
Your lighting and your background. You look beautiful.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, lighting makes a huge difference. I was so inspired by you, Cath, and by Devlin with you, with your setup. Oh no, Inception! 1 second. Oh, Inception. hide my bookmark bar because I like weird stuff.
Ew.
So this is my portfolio now. It's
Nice.
simple. I kept it simple. I really wanted to highlight a lot of my work more because I do quite colorful learning solutions. So that's why I tried to just keep it minimal with 2 to 3 colors, black, white, and peachy, orangey colors. But this is it in a nutshell. It's pretty simple. I don't want to waste too much time in creating something that's really insane because it's maintenance for me. But for me, for my portfolio, I just tried to keep it minimal with some interactions and animated components just to break up the laziness of our eyes in reading a lot of content. But it took me a while to refine it to this state, years, just because I was finding out, what works for me and what my audience wanted to see as well. And most of the time, they just want to jump straight down and see what it looks like, or there's some keen learning geeks out there that really want to see, what challenge I was trying to, tackle, the solution that I provided and the results provided by my learning solution. So that took a while for me to figure out and really create something that was easy for everyone to read and digest.
And no regrets going over to Wix.
No regrets at all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just found myself, I whipped this up maybe within a night when I decided to rebrand.
That's quick.
And go live with Amanda LXD. So I had a rough idea of what I wanted to look like and what elements I wanted to animate. I did these animated GIFs in Adobe Animate, which was really fun. If anyone loves to design keyframe by keyframe animations, Adobe Animate is so much easier than After Effects. So have a play around with that. But yeah,
maybe you should show us. At one point.
Yeah, I will do another session on animations. I reckon our next topic could be animations. That'll be really fun.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
I like your llama.
Oh, thank you. One day, guys, I'm saving up for a hobby farm. I'm going to rescue so many llamas. It's happening. Don't you forget it. I'm going to have my own little llama farm just because. Why not? But that's it. I just want to keep it simple. It's a bit of me. I didn't want to overcomplicate my website, but I just spend less time on it. So Wix is my preferred method of approach for portfolios.
Yeah, Wix were an interesting one because they.
Oh, I'm such a no! Stop sharing. There you go.
Wix were an interesting one because they really invested maybe 3 years ago into new marketing, and they had, so now I think they've got Keanu Reeves doing an advert right now. But they had basically musicians and different artists. Yeah. Really, they were smashing YouTube ads with it, and. I think it looks great. I think it looks really great.
Thanks, squad.
Yeah.
So you're a Wix person. Emma's a Squarespace.
No, I'm Wix.
You're Wix.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want to show yours? Are you feeling comfortable?
Yeah. I've just actually relaunched. Well, I haven't actually launched it, but I've republished mine and haven't marketed it. So this is a kind of a good time to do that. But I just wanted to point out some of the things on Amanda's portfolio that I really like, because since kind of rebranding mine, I wasn't sure what I wanted on it. So I spent a lot of my time on actually all of your portfolios to kind of, it's really hard to look at portfolios of graphic designers or people that are not within my industry. So I was really looking at your portfolios. One thing from Troy's, what I took was call to actions. I really didn't have many contact me buttons threaded throughout my content. It was just in one spot and that was it. So that's what I took away from Troy's, and adding in some elements of bright color. And then Amanda's is just the way that you write. You write so authentically. I feel like I know you. Obviously I know you now, but when you read yours, you really feel like you know you. And I feel it's really personal, and not many people can write like that. I think it is an art. And then your little animations, I thought they were definitely.
Oh, thank you.
And I looked at yours last night, Shirley, because I know you were saying that you were looking at revising yours. And your graphics are just insane. Like, they just amazing. What you do is amazing. So much on it. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to look at it. I've got so little on mine. But yeah, they're the bits of everyone's portfolios that I kind of like. But yeah, I should probably share mine.
Do it.
I don't know what that.
I love Amanda's. I like donuts and crafting learning experiences.
Mate, if you ever want to give me a gift, guys, donuts come first for me.
Yeah.
My favorite part was send a donut. That was one of my favorite parts. Send a donut. And I clicked on it just to find out what happened. Obviously, it was an email, but I was like, I imagine if it took you somewhere where you could actually send a virtual donut.
Amazing.
Oh, mate, you should have it go through. I love donuts. Have it go through to like Krispy Kreme or to your donut. And get some kind of link that they can just send you a donut.
Surely there's a thing like a buying a donut.
Yeah, that would be so good. Razor's agreeing. She just jumped on. She says, I agree with Amanda's writing skills. Her personality really shines through. And I love the llama farm. That's too funny.
Go, Emma. Show us.
Yeah, so I just moved over to this, what do you call them, theme. So initially when I had mine, I had it in the, like, I don't know if you call it tabbed style. So not as I have it now, which is a one page. I had all the tabs and different pages that you would access. And I think I listened to someone's podcast where they're like, you kind of don't need all of that stuff. Just keep it quite simple, similar to you, Amanda. Just wanted all the information in one spot. Keep it real clean and simple. And Troy had a little review of my site and he said, maybe a bit of color. And I was like, nah, it represents my personality, miserable and dark.
I love it.
I kind of didn't want to put something too busy. I just wanted to keep it really clean, and I'm really into these brush strokes at the moment. So I was like, why not kind of go with that? Anyway, so I went for this one pager style.
Looks awesome.
Hopefully the colors come into play in my portfolio bit and the projects bit. I'll go into one of them in a second, but a couple of the bits from the show, as you can see. And also more of these, get in touch call to actions. I've got them in a lot more locations than I had before, which I think is really important, because what if nobody went any further than here? Like Amanda says, some people just want to go straight to look at what your output is. Look, Troy, I added some pink, some color. So, what if people didn't go any further than this? It means they wouldn't have got to my contact page. So I did a couple of those things in. And the about section was quite an interesting thing that I went through. When I first launched my first portfolio a couple of years ago, I sent it to someone for review. And I had written a lot about me, as in my background as a teacher, and went really into why I got into learning design. And the feedback I got was, that's really nice, but people don't really care for what your background is. What they want to know is, what can you do for them? Which is, I guess, real good insights to me. It's not about you, it's about your client and what you can provide them with. And I think that's what was really missing on my last site. I have included a little bit about me, but if they want to find more about my resume or my employment history or my qualifications, my LinkedIn's there, and they can go and have a look at those things. First time I also put some testaments in. I didn't have them before, and I just pulled them from my LinkedIn. I didn't specifically ask clients to give testimonials, but they were things that people put on my LinkedIn, so I kind of just pulled them in from there. And this is Cath's little tip. She's like, bring some more pictures of your work in. So I did. So another little tip to Cath, make and of the work that you want to do. And I'm really into this portfolio piece that I'm working on at the moment. I just really love the branding and the graphics that I worked on with someone on that one. So I thought I'd bring that one into the hero piece. And then, this bit was completely missing. I didn't have this on my last portfolio, just going through what I can do with people. And I put this in order of my preference as well. And my that they know I really like to do. And then at the end, just a standard contact page. But I know that some people's habits, they like the tabbed effect. So I thought it was important to kind of have this menu at the top if they did want to look at something. And then similarly to Amanda, I kind of have a little blurb about the project. Some of them have interactive things that you can play with as well. So they're just posted on Amazon S3, and that's how I host my files. So yeah, that's about it, really. That's my
nice job.
I love it.
And again,
so the term is when you've done a one page. The way that Emma's done this is with anchor links, or at least that's what it's called in some like Webflow and WordPress and things.
Yeah, they are called anchors in Wix as well, and it's all really easy. Like this theme was already set up for me. I just kind of slotted in my bits, my information in between. It was already set up, but yeah, it was anchors as well. So each of these are basically like hyperlinks to the anchors. And it was really easy to do. I'm no web developer. Wix is really easy to use. And I do have a secret blog hiding in the back as well that I haven't quite publicized to the front of my site just yet, because I think if you publicize it to the front of your site, you have to commit to writing something in it all the time. So I'm hiding the blog behind and just sending out direct links to the blog. So that's really easy to add on as well. But yeah, that's my little stuff. I'll stop sharing now.
Razor just said, when I was creating my site, building a storyboard, story brand was recommended to me. The main point of the book was to make the customer the hero of the story. So instead of saying, this is what I do, it went to, this is how I can help you. Cute.
Yeah, and that was a tip I got. I think it was Matt Bibby actually that gave me that tip. He's really experienced in our industry, so I felt like that was really good. Good tip.
We've lost Lynn, I think.
She's gone.
That's okay. That's fine. So we've got Wix, and I am going to say, without checking your WordPress, are you, Troy?
No. I'm Wix as well.
Wix in the house. Okay. Third Wix. So what about you?
Yeah, so I'll share my screen. And
I have to say, Troy, and all of you, your websites are looking fantastic. But there's just something that I love about Troy's website that's just lovely with the yellow. It's not a color that I would generally use. Is it a color that you love, Troy? And I'm saying that because I think it looks great. I think I love your icon. I love, that you're using for socials and different things like that. It's just brilliant.
Thank you. It's my favorite color. This is, I guess, a third iteration of my site. Kind of been on a whole bunch of journeys with my website, always built in Wix. Much like Amanda, I originally wanted to kind of go down the coding route and, code it from scratch and build it from scratch. It wasn't fun. It was taking up way too much of my time. Wasn't efficient at all. So I started playing around with Wix, and I found it really easy. But the thing I loved about it is I have a blog. And in the early days, I was just purely writing a blog. So there was no video. And Wix actually have an app on your phone that you could write the blog on the train or whatever. So it was really helpful for me when I was, commuting and getting the train to work. I could, if I had a random inspiration, I could just start writing the blog on my phone, and then potentially come home and finish it on a laptop or something like that. I built this in Wix. This is, I originally had used templates and different themes, but this time I really wanted to try to create something, I guess, that I felt replicated what I want to do, like my colors, the colors that I like, that kind of speaks to me, but had a very clean, minimal feel to it. So I actually ended up building this from scratch. I think maybe like what Razor mentioned, before I even built it, I took some time and did some, I guess, storyboards, wireframes. So I spent some time building out a potential kind of like mock-up of what the site would be, and played around with different colors and got, my layout kind of all ordered in terms of how I wanted it to look. And then from there, it was just pretty much exporting everything out of this wireframe and popping it into here, linking things and going from there. But I've got, I guess, kind of what Emma was mentioning, I've got kind of like the traditional kind of tab pages. So everything is individual tabs. So that's kind of my site. I coded in some different interactions. So I've got like an accordion thing. I've got this thing. So in case potential client or employer is looking for somebody who uses a particular tool, I coded this in, so you can click the toggle and it changes.
I want to copy that.
Yeah, so that was the other thing I loved about Wix, is that it is pretty much like a click and drag. So, you don't have to code it, but you can use their coding platform to code in little elements or interactions, which is what I loved. So I could let Wix do all the heavy lifting for me, and then I could just focus on doing little interactions if I wanted to do that. So that's kind of mine. I've got portfolio piece on here. So all my portfolio, I just kind of redid. My recommendation is, if you do use Wix or you're thinking about using Wix, they have a thing in there called like a content database. So you can put content in and it acts as like a table. So you would have like your title, your project type, your about, your image, that kind of thing. And it templates all that information onto all the pages. I found that quite limiting, because when you go into individual projects of mine, each individual portfolio piece is slightly different. And I just found it limited what I could do. So I actually built each individual page from scratch, which allowed me to have, buttons on certain pages, but not on others. It let me have like this video, or link people throughout to other portfolio pieces to keep them kind of moving.
Oh, Troy, can you play that video? Because I really want everyone to see that video that Troy, this is my favorite trailer of all times. It makes me want to buy the app and buy the phone.
All right.
Sorry, just quickly. Side note. Imagine background music. I can't hear it.
I've got my headphones in.
Troy's like,
I can't see you guys, so I don't.
Point guide, the guide. It's time to explore. So good.
That's cool. And there was a great tool that was available a while ago that you could do this stuff. Did you use a template, or did you use like a? Yeah,
I used a template. I just found an Adobe After Effects template on, I think it was Envato. Just pretty much downloaded it, and I had the video made like probably within half an hour. Yeah.
Looks great.
This reminds me that what's his name? Tim Slade does with his, like, he kind of does like a little marketing clip on his things. And I've spoke to you about this before, Troy. I think it's a real nice way of like selling your stuff without having to kind of have the storyline module or whatever it might be published to it. Like, I think that's a really nice way of doing it.
That was really, really fun to kind of make the little video.
Awesome.
Yeah, I find it hard now to identify. Back in the day, some of the tools like Wix and Squarespace, they were quite clunky. Like, you were limited with what you could do. And now they've got so many functions and integrations and options available that just brilliant. I thought that was WordPress actually, Troy. So
you fooled her.
Good job.
I actually played around with WordPress, and I think after I had been initially using Wix, when I redid my website, I had to look at some different things like Webflow, Squarespace, and WordPress. But the thing I kept coming back to was that app, the mobile app, and that ability to, write a blog on the train or something. I know it's probably being lazy, or I'm using the efficiency a little bit too much, but the ability to write it purely on my phone rather than drafting in like a notes app or something was a huge win for me. So,
yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing, so I've learned something new today.
Me too. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
I have contemplated moving away, so we're going to get Lynn to show hers in a minute, because I want to go to Webflow, and yours is Webflow. But I am actually so scared about losing the years of SEO and where I'm ranked right now. I'm actually scared to move away. Because I don't know how that will affect my ranking. Will I start again? I don't know how that works.
Isn't what Melbourne designers have a go at some point, Cath?
Emma. She's like, you're my competition.
And his live stream.
But I think Webflow is a very exciting product. Why don't you show yours and talk about yours, Lynn?
Yeah, sure. Isn't it like I think I had the same contemplation. Like so I've tried Squarespace before. I've tried Wix before. I've also tried Adobe Portfolio. Which was very, very easy to use. That was before when I just did like web design and graphic design. And then with WordPress, I remember I think years ago, this is like after I graduated from school, somebody asked me to do something with WordPress, and I jumped into it. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, and I just overwhelmed. And then that's it. Like, okay, I'm never gonna touch WordPress again. And then with Webflow, I'll just share my screen first. With Webflow is
getting lots of love, by the way, from like Maria and Reza and Mudasir. Just bring yours up now. Sorry, Lynn, I interrupted you. I'm very rude.
No, it's okay. Yeah, with Webflow, interestingly, about a year ago, I think 2 years ago, there was a client approached me to do a website. And they were like, okay, we want to do website in Webflow. And then at the time, like I never used Webflow before. And I came back to them, okay, like, I'm happy to try Webflow. And I was being honest with them. I never used Webflow before. And then, and they were like, they eventually didn't work with me because they were like, we're not sure about the technical capabilities because you never use Webflow before. I was like, that's fair enough. But then I think because of that, then I was like, okay, I'm really curious now. Like, I remember the first few weeks, like doing this, I was like, oh my God, like I just want to quit. And then I just want to go back to like Wix or like Squarespace because those are like I was really comfortable with those tools back then. And then so I did this, I think, in a few months. And I did I did a mistake. I mean, not a mistake, but at the beginning, I was just like, okay, as long as it is up there and like, okay, I'm gonna, like what Amanda and Troy said, I'm gonna do it from scratch. And that's what I did as well. Wow. And then I realized that now it's just so hard to maintain it. Like, I didn't use the CMS tool. at all. So it's just like, oh my God, it's a pain now. Every time I want to update the work page, the content, the title, I have to change every page, and I have to change the link, everything. So I'm actually in the middle of redesigning it with Webflow again.
Using CMS.
But using CMS, and I actually bought a template this time.
Yeah,
like I'm just like, because I'm just like I think it's also because I'm perfectionist. Like little things, I'm like, oh no, like it bothers me. Like I'm trying to change this background of the image, and I couldn't decide which one I want to go to. And also like, oh, should I do photo or should I do like images on the laptop and things like that, and all of this. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use template. But anyway, so this is my first attempt using Webflow. Asked my husband several times for help as well, because he's a software engineer and he does things like this. So you can see there's like some of my work from, some of them from design, some of them from the competition. I've cut down some of my work from before, the ones that I didn't want to display.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, and then the blog page. In the new ones, I'm gonna add a service page, about page, and then possibly a resource page where I will put inspiration, maybe, and some templates and things like that.
Nice.
But yeah, like this, I think Webflow is very powerful, but at the same time, is a big learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of times I'm like, okay, how do I make this align? Like, I can't even make a line, and then just get frustrated. And okay, I have to redo it again. But I think it's rewarding once you get familiar with the tool. So, Cath, if you're in a trance,
it looks amazing, Lin. Like, I love how clean it is. And my favorite is your work tab, where it's just so the curved edges of the boxes. It's something that I don't see a lot. And it's so beautiful. So well done. Like, I know how hard Webflow is, because I'm one of those people that gave up. I opened it and I looked at it and I cried and I closed it. No, I didn't cry. But yeah, it's very rewarding. Look at it. It's beautiful. Good job.
Yeah.
I think what I'm struggling with portfolio typically for me is the content. Like, I think naturally I'm not a fast writer. And then I have to spend like days, and I keep refining, and I never think that is enough. It's always like, oh, okay, I don't think that's right, and I keep changing it. And I don't think it's good for SEO, because it's like you just keep changing your content, and then the Google doesn't like it when you keep changing your content. But yeah, so that's my website, and then I just have some website that I have for inspiration from the competition. Yeah, Sponge is great. Bright Carbon from the competition as well. Yeah, and I love how they actually, I talk about it with Cath as well. Like, I love how they put their pricing on their website. I don't know if they have it here.
I think how much the client piece cost, or do they have like a services thing where they have the cost on it?
Yeah, they have like a services thing where, and here like extra small, and on each one of the services, which I think is like this way to filter client. I wonder if you can see the price for the eLearning creation.
I don't know about that. How do you guys feel about adding your pricing to your website? Like, Cath, I know you had like your fancy calculator for your quotes, but I feel like that's kind of hamstringing me. I think you'd have to be really clever with your disclaimers or something. Like, I don't think that would be something I would do. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't put pricing on my website because it differs by project. Like I'm finding some of my clients, the work might be, much more simpler and less complex as opposed to a project that is so complex and the timeframes are short and I can't be charging the same as my simple client. I don't know. It just depends, I guess. But I'm quite transparent with my pricing when I do talk to prospects and whatnot. But
yeah, fine.
Yeah. I'm interested in giving it a try. Let's see.
I think.
Sorry, I cut you.
No, that's okay. I certainly do get a lot of inquiries. I think it does filter out people because they can't just look on my calculator and get a price. They have to actually submit it. Now, my response on the other side of that is that I'm not going to contact them because I don't want to be one of these people that's hounding people, how you use my calculator and can we set up a meeting? It's not that I don't care, but if you want to use me, so I just say to them, if this is in your ballpark, and this is an estimate, because you're right, Amanda, every solution is different, right? Yeah. We're not just a factory rolling out 15-minute e-learning modules. They're all different. So what I say to them is, I've given you a guesstimate for a specific type, right? If this is in your ballpark and you feel comfortable with this, here's my Calendly, book a time to meet with me and we'll go from there. And that's how it goes, just because I hate being hounded. So I try and think about other people. And sometimes it takes them a month to contact me and sometimes they email and book in straight away. So, Carlos has just jumped in. He says for custom development pricing varies so much that we would not add it to our website. I think it just confuses the client. Yeah.
And often the client doesn't know what they want, right?
It's true.
And then after having like that first chat, you might be like, oh, actually, that might not be what you're looking for. It might be this. And the same as you, like when I do get to the conversation about pricing, I'm not backward and going forward, like with everything I do. Like I'm very transparent with my clients about it. But I think I wouldn't even know where to start because it would change. Like even going with the same client coming back to me for a second job, it's not the same pricing then either. It's always varies so much. So yeah.
And remember, there's those clients that we are close to our hearts, that I try and bear in mind if there's a client that comes in, if something's about suicide or, if something's tugs on my heartstring that is a cause that I care about, there's sometimes I'll do things for nothing. There's sometimes that I'll do things for a very low price. So I don't want someone to be put off by a price, So, but I if you think about Bright Carbon, though, they're a fairly big company and they're an agency, so they're churning out a lot of stuff similar to templated solutions. But they do it. What I liked about their site, though, guys, is they do break down the different levels quite well. Like this one was e-learning creation. This is level 3. So if you scroll up to level 2, you'll see that they've actually scaffolded the prices. So people can see, okay, so level 3 is going to add this additional onto it. You see what they've done quite well here as well. They've got the price and then they've got with full instructional design. So if someone's coming, they're wanting a course and they've written it, right? Which is something that drives me mental. But if someone has done that and they're wanting a module, what I question though is I think the instructional design is the hardest thing to do, but it works for them. I'm certainly not going to put my prices on my website because I think I can get screwed by that. You know, someone goes, oh, well, you said a 15-minute module with this is this, you know, and you could end up building solutions that we don't want to do. You know how like all of us are open to, you know, Troy building a Glide app, you know, I might go, I think this might be a great Alexa skill. Amanda might say, you know, I think this could be something else that kind of is a passion that you have, you know. So I think it kind of makes it harder, doesn't it? It puts us into a box and forces us to give people solutions that maybe we wouldn't normally do anyway. Yeah. But that's a good one. What else have you got, Lynn? What are the
other one
websites?
is Mel.
Milloway.
She's also from, I love her too. And then the other one was, I encountered that this guy is not learning designer, but he did it in Notion, which I thought was pretty cool.
I'm seeing a lot of portfolios on Notion nowadays.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So he's a UX, product designer. So I thought it was pretty cool. Like, I mean, it looks like, you know, like I think we all know Notion, and it's pretty easy to set up as well. So that's that. And the other one, this guy, he used to be my teacher in school, and I think he used GitHub. I don't really use GitHub. I don't know much about it, but I know like people in tech and software engineering, they use that a lot. I don't really know how difficult it is, but I just thought it's quite simple. Is in UI UX.
I like the side scroll.
Yeah, with this. Yeah.
Could that be that he's just hosting it through GitHub?
Maybe that's what it is. Just hosting.
So he's built it in something like Webflow, but then he's just hosting it.
Yeah,
in GitHub. Maybe. Looks nice though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so too.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, that's it. The last one is just my old portfolio with Adobe. So I just used to have images, and that's it. All the projects on the sites. And I used to have my menu design website, but I didn't include
I jumped in and I did a tutorial of I only saw Adobe Portfolio recently, and I was blown away with how quickly, like if someone just needed a presence something, you could, you know, I think I did the welcome screen in 5 minutes, not even that, applied fonts and branding, and then this was fairly quick, but there was some little bits that were it wasn't so intuitive to do deep customizations, you know, but this looks really great. And this worked for you for your time as a designer. You were
I was modeling it for my portfolio, like for when I apply for jobs and things like that. It's just so easy to display this, and it's and it's so easy to set up and it's so easy to maintain as well. I have to say. I would have to say that the learning curve is probably the lowest among the others. Yes.
And to think you get it with your Adobe portfolio, you get it with the Adobe pack. So it's it's great.
Yeah, that's true.
Troy, where was that site that you sent me to that you had inspiration from? That was really cool.
Oh yeah.
And the one that you were mostly inspired by, because I clicked on it too, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty."
So I found a website called onepagelove.com.
Okay.
I'll share it. Hang on.
Yeah. I love this. I love learning about new things.
It's really cool. That little scroll on the side that you just said you liked, Amanda, on that portfolio. I was trying to find a similar kind of thing, because I've seen it on this website. Really cool. Okay. So maybe next iteration I'll refine stuff a little bit more. But yeah, it's really cool.
Do show.
So I found this. I don't know how I found it, but anyway, when I was, looking for design inspiration when I was rebuilding my site, I found this website, and pretty much it's all about one-page websites, and there's all these different types of things. So categories. So is there a portfolio?
Yep, it was on that second column.
Portfolio. Yeah. So yeah, you just kind of find what you're looking for. And these are people's actual websites. So you can click in. So I don't know, like So yeah, you can go in and launch their website and view their website like in real, like the actual full website. They've got templates. They've got like a whole bunch of learning tools that you can read, so ebooks, courses, tutorials, learn about landing page trends. But they also run another site. I think it's called emaillove.com or something about that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a similar thing, but how to write or, email design, like newsletter designs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and
it's pretty neat.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's cool. It is really cool.
Do you ever look at awards?
Yeah, I love awards.
Yeah, cool.
It's great to go out there and search for different portfolios. There was a couple. I'm not as prepared as you guys, to be quite honest with you.
The one that Mel Millway shared recently was quite good. I think it was just called Portfolios. That was cool. I went on there, but I didn't feel connected to the content as much because there wasn't any, obviously, e-learning or learning design. There was heaps of like photography, UX, UI and stuff. But I really struggled to get inspiration from that one. I just went and stalked you guys and people in our industry and how they were telling what we do.
I definitely stalk all of you.
We stalk you too, Shirley.
We stalk you too.
Stalk everyone. I'm a proud
everyone.
stalker.
All of the tips you've been getting.
Best portfolios was that the one?
I'll have a look. I remember it because it looks like the new Rise. It looks like the new Rise logo.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, it looks like the new Rise LMS logo.
It does. Uh-oh.
Awkward.
Yes, that was the one. Yeah, it was that one.
We're gonna look it up now.
I'm not part of this live stream. I don't want to get banned.
Back away slowly.
Yeah.
So awkward.
It's even the same color.
Cat, stop showing it. This is horrible. We're all gonna get our license and just bag them out. Like, what are you doing? Holy crap! That is so awkward.
The only person I'm going to blame on this is Emma Pawson for bringing it up.
Emma, she started it. Revoke her license.
No, Mel Millway sent me in this way, and she's a major advocate for Rise.
So I kind of brought up a load of examples that I really liked. I think this was for my first portfolio session. But what's really nice is you can, if you're kind of wanting to see different ways that people are formatting resumes even and case studies, you can filter this down quite well. So this is one that's obviously just been added. So I'll have a look through newer ones and things like that. There was one that I shared with you, Emma, that I really liked.
It wasn't on this, I don't think. Was it? Was it?
No, let me see. I downloaded a new tool this week that I've bookmarked it. What'd you say? Of course I did.
Every new tool.
Let me tell you, it is. Oh, by the way, is anyone doing Animal Crossing right now? Because I am obsessed with Animal Crossing.
I find it so boring. I'm watching it on Twitch,
What's
and I
Animal
don't
Crossing?
understand it. I don't get it.
Really, you're bored with it?
I
hate
hate
it.
it.
It pops on my feed on Twitch.
Let me just remove Amanda. Hang on a second.
So it's running around.
What was that, Amanda?
This is real.
Sorry, back again. Yeah. So this tool called Raindrop is so good because you can put all your. I've got thousands of bookmarks in my Chrome browser, and I was like, I want to have something that's fully searchable and that I can put in, you know, I can tag and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, but I had I put one in portfolios. That was this one, and I just love this guy's portfolio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you just go hello?
No, I said okay, as in like this nice design aesthetics. I don't know what your guys are
Hello.
Amanda was hello.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna send messages.
Dude, my husband's like next door.
But see this, I just really loved it. I love the way that he's put together. And I was trying to kind of suss it out. What is this? And it's SVGs that he's put together.
Right.
So I love that he actually talked about his iteration process in a visual way like this.
Yeah.
And I loved I love this. I love that he was showing where he was from. And I don't know. I love the simplicity of it anyway. But I love the cleanliness of it. But yeah, anyway. So I don't know why I like that one so much, but I did. And
photo front and center. Amanda, do you? Oh yeah, you have a photo. Lynn, you don't, do you?
Yeah. I have at the bottom, like small one. I'm trying to hide it. My husband was like,
"Yeah, but mate, you know how hard that is
in the landing page."
Copy of that, and you. Like I tried to use it for my assets for you, and because it's so small, it's a poor quality version of it. It's like,
oh no, I don't have a picture of my face on my landing page. I actually have a picture of a donut. That comes first, and then no, I find it too weird. It's in my about me, and then my picture's there.
This is cool.
That is. Oh, is it scroll as you're scrolling, and then
that's as I'm scrolling.
Wow.
So I think that this is a Lottie. I'm pretty sure that this is a Lottie. But just look at that. It's talking about extracting the idea, analyzing different viewpoints.
That's cool.
And then it's time to get real.
Wow.
A lot of coding there.
Oh, I like that first brief. You know what? I really respect where designers of any, different industry and whatnot, where they map out their design process. I respect them so much because it shows me and it gives me an insight to how they work. And I love it. So kudos to whoever this designer is for sharing their workflow.
So look at this. This is called
That's cool.
Story. It's like my father was a pilot. So as a little boy, I was lucky to travel around the world. Growing up between Swiss mountains, Greek islands and airports was unusual and influential.
Oh,
love. Look how it just morphs into shapes. Incredible.
What does this guy do?
We'll have a look in a second. I think he's a user experience designer. Design is about creating human interactions and experiences.
I love it.
Design is about how you make people feel.
Oh, love heart.
It feels safe. We want to be told the truth. I want to be transparent.
Wow.
That's cool.
And then, so I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he's an interdisciplinary designer.
What's that?
He designs
A mix
experiences.
of things.
So collaboration, projects, illustration.
Oh, okay. Oh, here you go.
Hi.
He's so cute.
Did Amanda say hi?
No, I'm reading. You guys are so funny. I'm actually reading the programs, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
I'm honestly not even looking at his phone. I'm going straight into like his skill set and his capabilities.
So it's greg.design, Nicalis. I'm just going to post it. So if anyone wants to have a look, greg.design. Yeah. I thought this was just beautiful.
Very nice.
So cool.
One that I
Good job, Gregory.
and then this was
Why are you guys laughing?
this was just
You're
one
making
that
it
was
weird
built,
when it's not weird.
this was one that was built in Adobe portfolio.
That's
That
awesome.
I just really liked, but
Oh, that's
Amanda loves this style.
Love.
So again, I just was looking at what this guy had done. And again,
That's
it's
so
not
cool.
e-learning, but I do believe that we can do a better job of showing our process. So anyway, raindrop.io, check it out. I love it. I know it's nothing to do with portfolios,
I'm gonna
but
write
what do
it
you
down.
okay, back to Rise. Oh, sorry, best folios.
Oh! Please do not revoke my access.
So Valentina, let's have a quick look. Valentina said when portfolio or a website is different from the rest and the difference jumps out, it catches the eye, the experience becomes memorable, like with the site you're showing now. Absolutely. I think even being weird is a positive thing if the weirdness is authentic. Absolutely. Like Amanda telling people that she loves donuts, right?
And llamas.
I have a tattoo of a llama. Do you
know what?
Oh no.
Show us.
This is weird, but I'll show you. So it's a UFO getting abducted by a llama is getting abducted by a UFO. And aliens built the pyramids. So
Oh my god.
You don't follow that QAnon, do you, mate? I'm just joking. No, look, this has been something that I struggled with in the beginning when I started my own business. You know, even going out and meeting clients, I wasn't being my authentic self. I was getting dressed up. I felt uncomfortable. My wife would say to me, "Oh, you're look at you. You're putting on a shirt and you've got a jumper on or a top on, and it's just not you. Why don't you just be you?" And that was it. You know, when I go out and meet with a client, I have a load of T-shirts that I've made up with my own logo on them, with my own branding, and they're a bit unique, and that's what I wear. And I've learned to just let the world know a little bit more about myself. So, on my website, I've got.
I love that, Cath.
Yeah, I think it's truly inspirational.
I in the about me, I talk about being married, talk about my wife, and that's something that I would never have done in the beginning because I just I don't know. Maybe I was worried about being judged or something like that. But I kind of now I'm proud of being a queer learning designer,
Yay.
So say I live in the Dandenong Ranges with my wife, my puppies. Even though with this shaved head, I don't think with this shaved head, I don't think people you know, I'm pretty sure it says something anyway. But yeah, I've learned to be a little bit more.
Yeah, I think authentic. I like that. I think portfolio is something very personal, and it's an impression of you in the first glance online. So I think it's great. Like, you want to show the personal side of you, and people get to know you a little bit more outside of what you actually do.
Another thing that I've put on my website that a lot of people, I haven't seen people do, is I actually do
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh God!
I actually read it every time I hop on your site, Cath, and I stalk your website quite a bit.
Welcome to country.
With the acknowledgement.
Yeah. Just acknowledging.
Yeah.
So this, for anyone who's tuning in from other countries, is something that a lot of government departments do and a lot of companies do. They actually acknowledge that Australia, we're all Aussies, right? So they acknowledge that Australia is a sacred land, and it's not our land. It's the land of the for me, these are the people of the Kulin Nation that are the traditional owners of the land, and I just think it's really nice, and I actually have quite a good reaction to this. Not that I put it there for a reaction. I just felt like, instead of me putting it down here as if it was nothing, I want people to know that this is part of my values of, you know, who I am. I haven't done much more than values. I mean, have you guys thought about doing anything like that on your sites? I don't know.
You've got them under.
I did. I copied Cath because I stalk your website way too much. But no, that's something personable to me as well. I really want to, let people know that I value honesty, respect, and, the quality of work that I produce. It's all about, what I deliver that is of quality, not quantity. And I take pride in that. But also trust. Like, I want them to be able to work with me because they trust in my capabilities and my skill set, not because what I look like or, how I am or who I am, but more for my skills.
But they are things that your clients appreciate, honesty and transparency and just good communication. Like, they're not just things that you put on a resume. They are things that your clients really value. And they're more likely to come to you for work if they can see that those are things that you value in yourself.
Yeah. So, I think we've all, and I should say that, obviously mine is WordPress. Something else I wanted to ask you guys is, I've learned over the years that if I try and download WordPress and start from scratch, I'm talking starting from a blank slate, it can get very, very messy, very, very hard to try and get it looking the way that I want to. And I'm just talking about WordPress here. I've also played around a little bit in Wix and things. And if I go from scratch, again, it's very hard. Do you guys start from scratch or do you use a template? Like, I always go from templates.
I love working with a blank canvas because it allows me to think and map about what I want to articulate visually for my audience. I find it a bit difficult working with templates. This is just my personal experience. Even with Storyline as well, I can't use templates. I'll probably sit and spend a day and draw, inspiration from websites and, other people's portfolios or work in terms of their UI work. And then I'll sit there and I'll design my own navigation bar. And then I'll sit there and I'll design the whole aesthetics from scratch. That's just my workflow, my working style. But even for my Wix website, I sat there and I worked with a blank canvas because it was easier for me to visualize and work with it.
So I should acknowledge that I do start with a blank page in WordPress, but I've used the template to put together all the paddings correctly so it's basically all the work that's going in the background of the PHP and everything, which is not anything that I understand. I used the templates to give me options. So I had someone reach out to me recently, and I won't name any names, but the person reached out and they said, would you be able to give me some advice on my website? And I went and I looked at it, and it just seemed like it wasn't very polished. It wasn't, it was just quite basic. And I said, just out of interest, what theme did you buy? And let me see if I can bring the theme up. Just bear with me a moment. I'm bringing up my raindrops again so I can find it. Let me see, web design. I know. Raindrops. So this, so this was the theme that the person had used. Right. And so they had used Avada, but they hadn't imported in any demo content. So it was like they weren't really even using the theme. The theme was there, but they weren't using it. And I just said,
WordPress?
This is WordPress, yeah. And I said, okay, so Avada, I may be saying it wrong. I said, this theme in WordPress comes with all of these demos. So hang on, it should list them here. Where are the demos?
Sharing, Cath?
Oh, am I not sharing? I'm a demo. Sorry.
No.
Oh, nice.
So this theme, Avada, it actually came with loads and loads of demos, and I'm just trying to
Ooh.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
No. Is that sound?
All right. I just want to show you. So they bought this theme for WordPress, but they hadn't imported any any of the demos. And I said, okay, so, and I was on a Zoom call with the guy. I said, let's jump on a Zoom and I'll talk you through it. And I said, so I think what you've done is great. You've got the bones there. But what I think is if you actually just download the demo of one of these options, so you paid $69 for a template, and the one that I chose was that creative one that I opened up a second ago. Where is it? Creative. I'll click on it from here again. So this was one that I opened up, and I said, if you download the demo, right, this will show you how you can lay out the content better, and it will allow you to use it as a placeholder so you can change the image, change the font that you want to your font, put your logo in. But what it's doing is it's allowing you to see it's got all these nice little accents that you can choose to use or not use. And I said, and this looks pretty kick-ass. Like if I saw this out there for an instructional designer, I'd be like, whoa, this looks cool. So what I think some people don't understand is when you buy a template, it also comes with demo content that you can import and then use if you want. And you can completely delete this out, and you should be able to put them in as a block, like text on the left, image on the right. At least in WordPress, these are the things that you can do now. And make choices, I want 4 or I want 2 in a column. You can make all of these kind of choices. So I said to him, it's up to you if you want. I can show you how to do it. Do you want me to? We can make a fresh version of your website and literally download the demo content and I'll show you how to do it. And he said, no, I don't. I want to keep it as is. And I was like, okay, fine, you know. But I suggest if you buy a template like this one, which is a very popular one, you make the most of all of this work. Like if we just have a look at
wow.
one, you know, so here's an influencer one. All right, so again, you see they've got a different layout. So they're showing the flexibility of this template, right? All right, so that's a blog. You can see that they can do different things here with different features. So it's obviously got WooCommerce, so you can sell things. This stuff looks really good, but I actually don't think people know how to. They buy the template, but they don't know what to do with it next. So I'm at one point I will do a demo to show how you can actually import. You know, so this is a freelance demo. So when you get like a blank WordPress and you import that theme, you then have to import the data to be able to utilize this functionality. But it looks pretty good, I think. So I just wanted to know from your perspective, you know, how do you like working? Do you start from scratch or do you use something that's going to get you started? Anyway, what's your thoughts on that?
I use something to get me started for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So even in Wix, you guys are starting with a theme, aren't you? You can't start with a template without a theme. You have to choose a theme. Is that right? In Wix?
No, you can start from scratch. So you can start from like a blank, blank canvas. That's how I went this iteration. Previous iterations, I'd used a theme or a template, and I just kind of, you know, merged my content in and changed what I wanted to do. But this time around, for my current iteration, I did my kind of storyboard, my mood board, my mock-up separately, and then I started from a complete blank canvas and designed the theme myself. So what colors and fonts and everything, and then just built from there.
Because like Webflow, when I was looking at it, Lynn, I was looking at the different templates that were out there, and some of them looked awesome.
Yeah,
I was like,
the ones that I'm working on, I just bought this one too. It's my first time bought template. But it's great because it comes with like the effect, like the hover effect, and I can like copy paste, like, and then so what I do is I just leave the template there and I create a new page, and then I kind of pull in, okay, this is the part that I want, and this part I want what I want, and then because the effect is already built in, then I can apply, okay, I want that hover effect, and then I just change it from the trigger. And like for me, it would take forever to learn how to build this like effects, like hover effect and things like that. So it's I find it's very helpful actually. So I'm glad I actually at this iteration, I do it this way.
Because Webflow is time consuming. It's like Storyline, man. You've got to build your normal state, your hover state, your selected state. And we've got a comment here saying, as an inspiring ID, if I put my portfolio in one of these templates, I don't think my current skill level would match the sparkly look of these wonderful templates. I feel that I would be giving false advertising. That's a fair point.
That's something that we say, Amanda, that
instant gratification.
No,
self-handicapping.
Self-handicapping. Like that's what these templates are for, to make your work look sparkly. For it, you know, and you have to just put your stuff out there and you'll get there. I had the same mindset when I first started.
I actually did as well. Like I was like, oh, should I use this template because it looks so amazing? But I was thinking, like, I think it's okay. Like, and I'm not promoting myself as a Webflow website designer, and it's just, and I'm openly telling everyone, it's just I use template, and I think it's okay to say that you use template, and somebody else doing it better than me. And then
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I work on there. Hey.
Yeah, I'd say that, you know, if you, for example, were paying for a company, if you said, you know, I'm actually just going to get someone on Upwork to build this for me. I'm not even going to build it, and I'm going to get them to do all of it. But I think if you were tasking yourself with, okay, I'm going to learn how to put up a WordPress website, whether it's locally on my computer or out there, and not publish it out to the world, you know, to turn it off from search engines. What's the word? Search engines.
Optimization.
Yeah, like, you know, there is a term for it. But basically, if you're going to just do this as a project and work out, I'm going to buy this template, I'm going to import it and learn how to lay it out, isn't that your own work itself? You know, you're applying your own fonts, you're building your own brand. But I do agree, if you're just starting out, you might want to go with something a bit simpler. Maybe you're just starting out like Lin did, and you're using Adobe Portfolios, and then you'll move to the next level and move. That's how we've all started. You know, you want to have seen my first logo when I started advertising as an instructional designer. It was awful, you know, now in comparison to what it is now, but it's just evolved over the years, you know. So, you know, I suppose I'm just letting you know that there are options out there when you buy these templates that you can make it look like what they're advertising. They're actually giving that to you in a lot of cases. So
yeah, my first one was a template, and I can share it. I've got it on the screen now. Like, it was a template, but that was more for like what Lin was saying about the hover states, and it just helped facilitate putting my things online. Like, there's nothing fancy about it. I'll quickly share my screen. This is my old one before.
yeah.
Over just quickly, because I know we're hitting over an hour now. But that was all it is. But what the template did was just help me facilitate having the banner at the top. I just imported a couple of images that linked to other pages. You know, there's nothing whiz bang about this at all. Like, I didn't have any call to actions. I had nothing on there. It's just a place for me to put my stuff. The only, I guess, fancy thing about it that I wouldn't have been able to code myself was just a contact page. And again, simple stuff, nothing important. And then the about me page, which we were talking about earlier, that I've now changed, and like this stuff I haven't got on here anymore. Like, that image is like a school photo of me when I was a teacher.
Look how
like,
you
Look at you. It's Emma.
I know, look at old portfolio. Like, this is a template, but it's just not one of those whiz bang fancy ones. And you just choose one that you think is more within your capabilities, I guess.
So how much is Wix costing you guys at the moment?
God, I don't know.
I think it's like,
Isn't it a standard price?
Yeah,
$180 a year, I think, or $200
it's
a
really
year.
reasonable, I think.
Yeah. Like, look, it manages your hosting, and you can set up your SEOs on there, and it does the whole thing. Look, I think Wix is targeted for like business owners, like small business owners, through to like large organizations that want to have robust functions as well. So you can use it to any capacity that you like.
Yeah.
I think we should get a discount from Wix, because we're showcasing. Yeah, we're promoting it so much. Wix, and Krispy Kreme donuts.
We should reach out to Wix and see if they'll sponsor us.
Right.
Collective.
Sponsored by Wix. No, okay.
What I'll say to you is, if you're an inspiring ID, jump onto Wix. Right, we've seen some great examples on Wix. Jump on. I'm pretty sure it even has a trial, doesn't it, Wix? You can trial it.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
there's
can
a
even
free.
websites as well, but
Yeah.
it just won't have your domain.
Yeah, just trial it. It'll allow you to customize as something.wix.com and try putting something together. And from there, you can then go, am I going to invest into putting my custom domain name? But yeah, Wix is great. Squarespace, great. Adobe Portfolios, fantastic. There's a lot of options to get you started. Yeah. Right. Well, guys, an hour and 20 minutes. Woof. We should probably let you guys go. I don't know where you're all tuning in from. America, maybe, in which your day is started. Oh, is it starting? I'm not sure. But we are wrapping up our day, and it's nearly Troy's bedtime.
I'll have you know, I've been staying up till 9 p.m. lately. So,
oh my goodness. Troy's an early riser. Georgia,
USA. Cool.
Lovely to have you. Lovely to have you guys tuning in. If you've got more questions, you're watching this on replay, drop us a comment below. Say replay. Oh, it's 4:36 a.m.
Jesus.
My goodness.
You're an
dedication, girl.
It sounds like me after I did my DDX session. I was like a zombie at the end. And that was 4 a.m. So what I'd say to you is if you're watching on replay, drop us a comment, say replay, let us know. And if you've got questions, ask your questions and we'll check out the comments and we'll reply. So yeah, if you want any more, anyway, we're going to come back next month. What are we going to talk about, guys? Animation, maybe?
I'm out.
Oh,
she's out.
Wait, Troy, what was it that you wanted to talk about? You messaged it in the Slack. I forgot what it was.
I talk about our attendance at DevLearn.
Yeah, we could do a recap of DevLearn, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, we'll talk about our favorite sessions that we've watched. And
something that we've implemented so it makes us accountable for.
All right. Damn it. Okay.
And can I use glide apps?
I was going to say glide apps. I'm like, I'll use glide apps. I haven't created anything in glide before, so it might be a nice challenge for me.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say, guys, I tried following Troy's tutorial on no, tell a lie. I tried following Mel Milloway's A-frame tutorial because I was blown away by Troy's. And I got so stuck with the so stuck with the step of actually being able to view it live. Do you know what I'm talking about, Troy?
Yeah, I do.
I got you, girl.
You got to use the Python code so you can locally host it rather than putting it on the web. I think if I haven't used brackets since.
All I hear is blah, blah, blah. Lost me at Python. And I'm like, oh, the snake? Oh, yeah, they're cute.
No, they're lollies.
Oh, yeah, lollies. Yeah.
I think if you use a tool like brackets, you'll be able to locally host it and you won't need to do Python coding.
Tech guru, Troy.
I might have to do a private session with you.
Sure.
Troy.
Troy.
That sounds a bit rude. We've got a comment here from DJ. Is it okay to blend a portfolio with a consulting business website, or is that confusing? I have them combined for now, but used to have two separate websites, and it was confusing for folks I want to share with. I don't think it's confusing. I think that it just shows your skill set. And so as a freelancer, and I know all these guys do it as well, if someone reaches out to them and says, or reaches out to me and says, needing a little bit of help, I don't need the full help, can you just give me advice on so-and-so? I'll basically charge them via a project price or by an hourly rate to consult and give them advice on certain elements that they're struggling with. So it depends on the consulting business. If it's something that's not related to e-learning, then that might be confusing, like if you were consulting in finance. But I'm presuming you're talking about education, so don't worry about it. There should be no problem in showcasing some of the work that you've done. So, yeah.
Agreed.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely have both on mine because I do, the education consulting side of it, and then the e-learning development side too. So both are on mine for sure. I think if you explain it well in your services, but they all kind of complement each other, so they are all a part of the same side. Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find her business. Yeah, okay, so I've got it here.
It's all related.
Yeah, shall we have a look?
Blend it together.
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
So there's absolutely no problem with this, having your portfolio on here as well. So you're showing
DJ Jaeger. Sounds so cool.
this, doesn't it?
Sounds like a DJ and a drink mixed together. Awesome. No, in a good way. Like I'll totally work with you.
Okay. So she's got another one, light bulb. Okay, bulb. Learning, PDX. I was trying to be smart. That's an old one, she says.
What? Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right, no worries. So you've got services, work samples. Do you know, I'd even say if you and this is just a little suggestion, see how you have to hover for this to come up. I'd actually have it on as a default. So straight off the bat, you can see there's 3 choices. If people explore, cool. But you've got them, you've basically aligned these 2 up here as well. So it's the same thing. So you've got services, which is fine. You're showcasing what you're doing, coaching, training, consulting, and then work samples. I think that the portfolio is really important because it shows that you understand the content. Okay, so e-learning examples, and you've got them launched from Google API. Okay, no problem. I think what would be really good here is actually showing your examples instead of having it like this, and then having a filter that people could click on at the top, across the top, to filter it down. What do you think? You're nodding your head, Troy. So I'm saying it like, and I don't know what you've built this in, DJ, but I've kind of got mine under portfolios like this. So they can filter it if they want. They can click on e-learning, or if they want to look up my WordPress, they can do that. I think sometimes it's good to just have it there because it's just one more click that someone's got to make. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's
Because this looks really good. If you could have these, are you using Wix? Yeah. So if Wix have this function with a filter, I don't know if they do. You guys might know, actually. I think work samples should be all together and then being able to filter, because this looks very, I think, aesthetically pleasing. I like this. So if you can have more of them, so people straight off the bat, I think when I go looking for things, I'm looking for images, I'm looking for the heading to stand out as something that's relatable, that I'm interested in, I want to get into. And if I go here, it's like, okay, that's just my suggestion. But I think it should be there. If you were thinking of taking that away and just leaving services, my question would probably be, yeah, but what can you do? You've not shown me anything that you've worked on, you know? What's your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I think I like the filter. I do that too on my website, and it's just easily filter out. Especially if you have several work to represent your services, I think it's a quick like tool for a visitor to see, like, okay, which one they want to focus on.
I haven't. Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Oh no, I haven't added filters onto my one yet because I don't know how. So if there's any Wix gurus out there who want to show me, Troy, I need help. We'll just be honest. It's too hard.
You can do it. Yeah, you can do it. You need to, I think it's the CMS. So it is quite complex, and maybe this is another conversation, but you would need to use something like a CMS and then use their platform called Corvid, which is their code platform behind your website and code things. But essentially, that's how I created that tab interaction. So I've got certain things under tools and then certain things under skills. So as you flick the switch, it will show or hide the respective content. So it could be done. I think if DJ, if you could do that on here, I think it would be quite neat because it gets the user straight into your work samples. So kind of like one less click. And I think something I was thinking about, it depend on what you have under each section, but hypothetically, if you've got 5 e-learning samples, but you might only have 1 video sample, that could just look a little bit visually empty. I don't know the better word, but I'm just going to use empty if you're going into videos and you've only got 1 video. And I don't know what you have in there. I'm just using that as an example. It could make it look a little bit more fuller of content.
I'm just making the suggestion because this footer, there's not much that's in here. So she could, I think that's the only thing that's aesthetically making me go, maybe there should be more things in here. But it could just be that she changes this image style, that she has it looking more like this to move in. But look, I certainly think you're on the right path with this, DJ. You need examples, in my opinion. So keep going. It looks good.
Good work, DJ. Woo!
Well done.
All right, now these guys are probably all like, yeah, okay, Cath, you said an hour, and now we're an hour and a half. So we're going to sign off. But put your comments below, and I'm just looking at the comments here. So we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Put your questions in the comments, and we'll see you in a month. We'll work out what we're going to talk about. All right.
Woo-hoo,
Adios. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.